All right, good morning, everybody. Thanks for being here. Are there any public comments on non-agenda? Okay. You have, any changes to the July public board minutes?
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. We have an updated agenda for today, so I just sort of skipped that.
Yeah.
Um,
So I think there was a date wrong on one of the conferences. It should be 2024.
This is July, Lori.
Oh, was it July? Maybe it was September. Okay. Or no, we are in September. Okay, page 4. The Black Chiropractic Association's annual convention will be held and it ends in 2023 and it should be 24.
Is that July or August?
I don't know.
July's minutes.
Okay, let me pull that up.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I'm just looking at the public packet.
You're okay. I just want to make
Yes.
sure I was
Yeah,
pulling.
section number 5.
Okay, 1 minute.
And I thought, because I was like, well, that's weird that we announced it after the fact, and then later it's actually built in 2020. I'm assuming that.
Okay, so 2024, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
And that's it.
Forget that.
Yes.
Thanks.
You don't actually for consent agenda.
Oh, you don't? I should read that stuff.
Yeah, you do, but as the consent agenda, you just approve them unless you have a question.
Okay. Any changes on the August 21st special board minutes?
I'm feeling good.
Okay, all right. ED report.
Yeah, at the close of the 21-23 budget, at the close of July, which is considered month 13, so that's when they reconcile all the biennial budget. We have ending cash balance of $562,873, which translates to roughly 6.79 months of ending cash, which is a really good position to be in. You all have received the board's best practices forms for our KPMs. So I need those back from you as soon as you can, or actually those, the APPR, the annual performance progress report is due October 2nd. So if you can get that to me by the end of today, should be in your materials. Thank you, Lori, for getting yours in. The DEI strategic plan we have as part of our materials today, we're gonna spend time tomorrow morning really getting into the details of that plan and figuring out what we're gonna do. And it may take a couple of meetings, but we need to get those started on it. It's part of the governor's expectations for our agencies to all incorporate DEI plans within the strategic planning. So, and we already have an affirmative action statement, but a draft of, but we need to include that also within that holistic strategic plan. And yes, so as stated earlier about July's meeting minutes, the American Black Chiropractic Association is having their 43rd annual conference, June 27th to 29th of next year. That's being held at UWS. And so part of my question to the board is, do we want to participate in some way? Reach out to UWS to either have a booth or some engage with that conference. I think it's a good opportunity to do so. So let me know as a board. That's what we want to do. I'm seeing head nods. Sure. Okay. And so I'll follow up with Dr. Brittenhall about that. IT updates. Mackenzie,
Wow.
you're on.
To what extent?
There's a ton. There's a ton.
To what extent would you like me to
Just
share?
kind of 10,000 feet, just kind of main topics that,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, well, we are in the midst of quite a few IT initiatives. The first being one that you'll recognize in Lumen. We have hit a snag. in our process. And that's because we're waiting for Inlumin to meet background check requirements in order to continue their work. They've had quite a few months now to complete this process and they neglected to do that. And so we have cut off access to our data until that has been completed. I would say out of the people that are required to do it, about a little over half have completed it all the way, and the rest are about halfway through the process. So there is movement being made, but it has been about a month now where it's completely delayed and actually stopped the project. So as you can imagine, that's irritating, but also necessary because we want to protect our data. It's really important. So we've taken steps, quite a few steps to ensure that that's secure in that meantime, and we're just kind of on hold until we get that done. Yeah. The other things that are kind of going on are kind of more, it's staff internal stuff, but it is going to be impacting our process because it's a lot that's going on. And to give you kind of a example, we're in the process of kind of shifting out of having a third-party vendor be our IT support, and we're going to be having Dash be our IT support, which is what we've always wanted, but we've been a little far away from that. And so with that comes a lot of excitement because we're going to be able to troubleshoot faster. We're going to be able to really experience a lot of support. Yeah, it's going to be completely different for us. So there's a lot of excitement, but what comes with any change is a lot of process to get there. And so we're currently going through that. So that's a part of it. There's other minor things that are going on all at once. So that's kind of what's, without getting into it, so it's going on. There's a lot.
So the end result of all these things is that we are no longer going to have our server in-house. So that's going to be housed in the cloud with DAS. We're going to have them as our desktop support. We're also not going to have if you remember at all our office, we used to have desktop machines that we actually look into, and those desktop machines are going to go away. So we're going to just have our Surface to be able to dock into the DAS structure.
Yes, it'll be much more secure.
Yeah.
Than our current setup, which is, I think, what we're always going for. We want to go for less autonomy for employees who really shouldn't be responsible for those things and just haven't been able to get there yet. And so now this is going to provide that.
And it's going to
security.
facilitate based on our budget for 23-25. So one of those POPs was approved to move forward with DAS IT services as part of that process. So I can see I'm doing all happy things right now, even though it's a little bit chaotic. Thank you, Kevin. Part of our investigations update, we hired independent contractors, Garrett Roloff and Jessica Maria as independent contractors to assist in our backlog. And those actually, thank you, Lori, for reaching out, and to Gina for Garrett's recommendation. And so Gina and Craig, do you want to provide us an update as to that?
Yeah, so last time we spoke about it, we had about 150 cases. We have 138 now that are being actively worked. And so this is the first time that the outgoing to y'all is bigger than the incoming to us. So that's celebrated. Of that 138, 2 will be going to hopefully delegated to PRC. I believe 15 are COVID cases outstanding that Craig is working on. 7 have been delegated to new investigators. 6 have been also delegated out but will be reassigned. And the remainder, I believe we have 1 remaining 2020 case that cleared out quite a few. And with all the improvements with our process and also tech improvements, I won't promise, but it is possible that after the November board meeting, we might have under 100. A lot of good things have to come into place perfectly for that to happen. That wasn't a possibility, and now it's a very clear possibility. So things are going really great, and we're very pleased and motivated about it.
Can I ask a question? Because now you got 4 people. How did you decide? So I think one of my cases, both of you guys did interviews and only one of you. Like, how do you decide? Like, how does that all get filtered out? You know what I mean? Like, which case needs more than one person?
Historically, Craig and I had worked cases together, and that took probably more time than was necessary. And I think it's a good thing because we've been able to collaborate and learn together, but now we're in a place where we can handle these cases on our own. So we'll discuss them when they come in and see how do they best need to be approached. Many of them only need one investigator, and, but some required to, especially for the interviews, because we present different things and have a different influence on the interview process. So then we might come together for that. So it's a case by case basis.
So if it's heavy medical, I'll be much more involved in it.
Yeah.
Where if it's not, then Gina will just take it. And then we'll even take a look at the medical ones. Do I need Gina on this one? No, I could probably handle it, or Gina like file, not sending files to somebody or something like that. She may just take it and just run with it and stuff. Like that way we can get to these cases a little bit quicker. But we always collaborate on every one of them and say, okay, yeah, you handle this one, I'll handle that one.
Okay, so there's no set, like,
No,
this, okay, we just.
not at the beginning. No, we just look at every case and we talk about it. And says, yeah, we can, no, why don't you hop on this one and then I'll hop on this one, then maybe we'll cross later. Yeah, but yeah.
Is the goal to get to the point where you don't even have to do that?
Yeah, I mean,
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah. Hopefully, it's just, it's like any case, we just play it by ear as they come through, because everything's unique
Yeah.
and the circumstances. So that, yeah, we talk about them.
And the cases that have been assigned to the independent contracting investigators really don't have a lot of medical heavy at all. It's much more kind of, they didn't disclose records or, those types of,
Yeah,
or even unlicensed practice, yeah, whether you practice it or not.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, not.
thank you.
You're welcome. Any questions?
And actually, I just want to jump into the report. So we just have been in kind of a travel and training flurry around here, in September and October. Is that, so Gina and Craig attended the Reed investigation training, end of August, which was a week.
It was a week long.
Yeah. And phenomenal, training resource. And so we're gonna have a meeting about that to bring that applicable to OCD here shortly. But it's like, you've also proven effective.
Oh, yes.
Since then. And then, Gina and Craig and Lori and I attended the fall conference, which is the Federation of, Administrative Regulatory Boards. And so they do, kind of like FCLB, but for all sorts of administrative, regulatory boards. So you'll have dentistry, you'll have, opticians, you'll have all sorts of other folks other than chiropractic. And within that training, they had really good investigation resources, but also really good things for executive directors to bring back and, new practices. And one of those practices that I'm going to talk more about was that, we have our introduction to the board course that we put on twice a year. But that's for people who have just recently been, I was gonna say indoctrinated, licensed. Licensed, by the board, or, either new students or, reciprocal licensees. And, a friend of mine in Arizona, director there, he actually includes, as part of their school, the school requirements, and I don't think this is chiropractic, this is on the osteopath side. But that their school, has a course that requires them, the students, to attend one of the board meetings, the osteopathic board meetings, as part of their graduation requirements. And what he has seen since they do that is that none of those students that have attended board meetings have ever come before the board. And so I thought it would be a really good thing to explore, to see if we can, and I know at UWS, I think one of the defense counsel puts on an ethics and jurisprudence class, but it's not actually what the board does. And, and we provide CE credit for folks to get CE for attending our board meetings. But I thought it was a really interesting idea to actually have a possibility as a graduation requirement for them to participate in this. So if the board is amenable, I'd love to also reach out to Dr. Rick Hall and see what the possibility is there. I'll get more information from Justin from Arizona to see what, how many credit hours and what that looks like on that side, but I thought it was really, the less people we have before us, the less harm's done, all of it's all really good. So I will get more information on that. And then we also have coming up is SCLB read. That's next week. It's actually, I'll be attending that and Karen.
Mhm.
In South Dakota, so hopefully the weather holds for us. Not looking forward to winter specifically. And then after that is the DOJ Public Law Conference that a lot of us are attending, and that's really administrative agency focused. And gets into investigations and notice writing and all sorts of things that are interesting for us. So I think it's been an interesting training season for all of us.
And Garrett and I are doing investigation training with Gina and Craig in October
That's right.
when he gets back from killing deer.
Right.
Yes.
So it's been really, I love this time of year to kind of get all these things. But that also means that we have not been, communicating, at least my email is kind of back up. So I've been trying to get all that out and do that, ordinary business. Let's get into proposed board meeting dates and locations. And I have them in my ED and I think we have it as a, an agenda item, but I think we can just address it now, it's easy enough. So the first part is looking at dates and let's clarify dates and then we'll get into locations. That's okay.
I think I put 2023 board meeting schedule. It's definitely 2024. So for those confused, that is.
Oh, that reminds me, Mackenzie, we do have right now is the Senate confirmation hearing for our new and returning board members. So, so thank you, Lori, thank you, Dr. Marinick, for wanting to up and being your equipment. Really appreciate that, and the board really appreciate that. And also Dr. Corey O'Neill is going to be appointed momentarily to be another board member. So thank you, Heather. Now we do need another public member. So we're looking at recruiting, another public. But other than that, will be a full house. So board meeting dates. One is January 17th, 18th. Look. March 28th is virtual. That is a single day. We have decided the single days are virtuals for us.
Can we move that? Because that's in spring break and we did that this last year and that was a little bit brutal at my house.
Does that mean we have to move January into March? Like there's
Maybe.
another time.
It all depends on if there's rulemaking.
Yeah.
So let me.
Depending, because if we have to have 48 days between for rulemaking.
I was wondering about that. We could move it to the 21st.
That'd be 9 weeks out.
Yeah.
From January.
Is that enough?
I think that's fine.
Somebody do that.
Yeah, March 21st.
I also remember.
It'll be the
And that would
Be virtual.
Yeah. the next batch is May 15th to 16th.
I'm out on a vacation.
Just smiling.
Why?
I'm on a cruise.
So no,
I'm not available. You guys go ahead.
okay. Anybody else not available during that time?
Maybe. I'm not sure. Sorry. I just was thinking about that. I think it'll be fine.
May 15th.
I think it'll be fine. I could look really, really.
Otherwise, we don't have tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Really bad.
Hold on. Please. You're kind of important.
I know, I'm thinking so bad.
We could be on Heather's.
That would be. Then we're running into Memorial Day again.
Yeah, that's the issue.
That's.
Oh, you guys could just go on the cruise with me.
Okay.
I'd be down for that.
Okay.
We're going to Alaska.
Oh.
I forgot that's one.
Going inland this.
That's on that one.
Okay, location.
Yes.
Location. Alaska cruise. I'd go for that, right?
I think we're gonna be okay. I think it's fine. Let's just lean into it.
So good. Keep it there and if we need to. The next one is July 25th. Virtual.
I already. I might have to pop out for, our stuff for like.
Nobody else good?
Hello.
Hello, well, good morning.
Morning, especially as we get.
You're starting to sing. And then the next one is November 21st.
September.
September 25th and 26th. 25. Everybody good? Yeah. Okay. And then November 21.
On the list, that's November 30. But you're saying November 20, I'm just making sure. Okay, 30, and then 21.
Yeah, that's 21. Okay, really good. Yeah, because the
The 30th is the.
30th is Saturday. Yeah, 30th is this.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. There. It's right above it, yes.
That works. That is confusing. Okay, great. So those are the dates. You need to just make sure that we all have them. So January 17th to 18th, March 21st, May 15th to 16th, July 25th, September 25th and 26th, and November 21st. Great. Now, let's talk about locations. So what we have been previously doing is about, well, really for the 2-day board meetings, we were traveling. January is usually, well, that Valley Summer, it's a little bit easier for people to get to, other than the folks who live halfway across the state. And then, so that's looking at January, May, and September. January. Tiger or Salem, Tiger meaning like the Oregon State Bar. Or we could actually do, where we were last time. But yeah, we were there last week, yeah. Is that Mount Plaza Hotel worked out? Or offices in Salem. May could be, we haven't done coastal, lately. So Newport or Cannon Beach or in Astoria. And then September, again, Salem, Portland, or Eugene.
Can you do coastal when I'm there?
Oh, that's right.
Excuse, I don't have to work in the May one.
Closest. And that would be for, I would assume September then.
Yeah, oh, yeah, guys, in the fall beach, that's the best time. Yeah. Late September, early October is the best beach time.
So, I'm sorry, so September, the meeting would be before?
Yeah.
Okay. And so then looking at January, like May's meeting. January? We're gonna do January at the office or January on the state farm. I don't care about May, because I'm not there.
January, you're there.
Oh, January.
Yeah.
I'm giggling over there.
You know what, I like both. Where do you say bar and office? So I think they were both was keeping it. We say it's closer. The. Who's our new one?
Here,
Portland, or down here.
with Medford.
Okay.
So why don't we utilize our office?
Yes.
I did let him know that too, like when I asked him, so I know you're from Southern Oregon, and you have to travel, but I still think you'd be good. He was fine with that.
Yeah, for challenge.
Okay, so that leaves May. Where do you want to be in May? Since Newport's already Most is already done. And then we already have our OBC. And do Baker.
Baker, yeah, because she did Baker.
I
I used to live in Union County.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
Or Eugene, or. Where do you want to go?
Just don't go since it's fun.
Ooh.
You guys ever do this like at the Canadian stuff?
We go to Eugene, I'm wearing orange every day.
Not that I.
Beth, do you have any ideas?
Not really. What was January? January was at Salem?
Yeah,
What about
Okay.
ballot?
well, for ballots, we could. We haven't been to Corvallis. Yeah.
Beautiful town.
Boring, yeah.
I see built a lot of new hotels.
We can do Corvallis.
Yeah.
Do Corvallis.
Okay. I'm going to Corvallis. Okay. Great.
Don't wear green.
So, yeah, maybe, that'd be great. Okay.
Was
so
that 12?
We have, our date.
Whatever's up to them.
Right.
Yes, here.
What was the decision for September?
For
Newport.
ballots. Oh, I'm sorry.
Newport.
I'm excused from attending May, correct?
We'll talk.
You said you need permission? All right, Dr. Sabo, are you still on for an OCA update?
Hang on. Yes, I'm here. Hang on, I'll be right with you. So I'm going to just refer to legislative stuff, and then my president, Dr. Todd Turnbull, will follow me. Our workers' comp bill, again, House Bill 3150, we will reintroduce that in 2025. The issue that we're asking colleagues to come forth with is substandard care that their patients are running into. And I just had a perfect example with an ER nurse that got struck by a van in front of the ER and was sent to an OCMED clinic. The doctor never put his hands on her, never treated her either, of course. And this went on for 14 weeks before I got her. And she was an existing patient of mine. She was told she had to go there. She's a veteran, and that's the type of stuff that we need to show the legislators that that's part of the issue. House Bill 2395, Representative Noyes is putting an omnibus bill together. This is the opioid harm reduction bill. We're coming forth with injectable Narcan being non-prescription, which is really what it should be. And there's an issue there. When folks are not breathing, using the nasal spray, the opioid antagonist does not work. So we need the injectable, and there's impediments. So we're asking for that small fix. In a short session, you can't come forward with anything controversial. Again, Governor Kotek's bill, which is Senate Bill 1046, is again expansion of the provider non-discrimination applied to large employer plans, and that will be reintroduced in 2025. I'm working with Jesse Owens and DCBS. Very good bill. The governor is very supportive of our non-discrimination. And then Senate Bill 1089, which is the Universal Healthcare Board, with the presumption of bringing in universal health care in 2027. I've been working with Senator Manning, who is going to put me on any type of future work group. I was on a prior one. Critical of that, and he agrees that the non-discrimination provisions must be included in any universal health care system. And again, we're supportive, the OCA, of expanding consent to 15-year-olds. Which was the board's 971, and Cass told me, of course, so that won't be reintroduced until 2025, long session. Our Medicare bill is getting more traction than it did last time. We have 117 co-sponsors. The only member of the Oregon delegations or members of the Oregon delegations that haven't signed on are Representative Cliff Betts in far eastern Oregon, and Senator Jeff Merkley, who's always been supportive, and we'll hopefully get both of them. TRICARE is going to add chiropractic through federal regulations. Statute apparently is not necessary. That is my report.
Thank you.
Hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Great, thank you. Dr. Todd Turnbull here for the OCA. I have a question for this board. Who holds you accountable for misinformation? I'm going to refer back to the website for the OBCE. Had a statement on there for many months that you will aggressively pursue me and my colleagues for misinformation regarding COVID. And you have created statutes on the masking and the experimental vaccination, which I'm requesting that you guys go review. Those statutes were based on a false narrative. We have sent hundreds of evidentiary science that we would love for you guys to review and look at what's possible. Your agenda is to protect the public, but your mask mandate says that a paper or cloth mask is going to protect the public from a virus. And according to OSHA, the SARS-CoV-2 virus is a biohazard safety level 3, which requires a respirator with HEPA filters. So if you're going to make a mask mandate, at least make it up to par with what you're actually dealing with. The other issue that I would like to request you visit is your unprofessional conduct statutes, where you have acquiesced your authority to the OHA and to the CDC. And unfortunately, neither of those agencies are licensing me and my colleagues. It is your board that licenses us and regulates us. So I'm requesting that you would please go look at those statutes, update them and revise them to be based on evidentiary science. Thank you for the opportunity to address this board. Have an excellent day.
Were those official requests from the OCA, just out of curiosity?
They are.
And you're referring, Dr. Turnbull, you kept referring to statutes, and we haven't revised any statutes.
Well,
So-
OAR 811-035-0015.
Those are our administrative rules.
Oh,
And so
okay.
you're talking about a facial mask covering rule that actually
Correct.
isn't in effect until and unless there's an emergency declaration.
Yes, I got that. And I understand that that has been currently halted, but the wording on that and what you're projecting to the public is that a cloth or paper mask is going to protect them from a virus. And, you know, that's misinformation. It won't protect them. It's clearly stated on that.
But we have said to OCA repeatedly that this board has let OCA know that these issues and all the data that you're providing us should go to OHA.
And we have done that.
Okay. And so that's where we are.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Next on the agenda is the UWS update, which was an email sent in by Dr. Brimhall. Read the read list for the record.
No, it's within our materials.
Okay. All right. So lots of continuing ed coming up in the 120th anniversary of UWS. All right. Take a short break before we get into the P and Z.
Actually, couldn't be.
Yes,
That matter of something.
we actually have a guest today.
It's funny how I called up about something else. One of you individuals, I think, told me about this being down here, and you said you I don't know, rarely if ever get guests, I guess, when you're out in the hinterlands, is that in general, or is it national?
Yeah, since COVID.
Since COVID.
Since COVID.
Yeah.
Which is interesting, you think people would just like, you know, starting to come out again. Interesting, well, I've been practicing 36 years, Matt, M-A-T-T, Sheehan. Yeah, and I've never been to, embarrassing, I've never been to a board meeting. So this is fascinating, just listen. Say what? Sorry? There you go. And in 36 years, to be honest, I've never done most of my continuing unless I did a seminar somewhere. I've never done them like, except in the month prior. President of procrastinating. Can I ask you one quick question? What does UWS stand for? You said-
University of Weston.
Oh, okay, yeah, I went to National, sorry.
Yeah, let's come back at 9:50.
Give us one moment to get all settled here.